Like Tom was saying, he felt like you were off. I felt like you were fighting fine. Did I look off?
Okay, so just hold on a second.
I would say he looks better today.
You fighting me.
The only time I really noticed Conrad
this
being
way versus
Conrad is when
against
it's
my
not
skill.
It could also be like when he fights me, he's not going to dick around. Although you threw a lot of crazy shit at me.
That actually,
safe range.
State of
I
mind.
did not try to fight you.
You know you have more of a chance like this.
Yeah, same here. But I tried to mix in some shit just to keep it honest.
Well, yeah.
Just like everything, like
I
if
totally
you could channel this more
down and was
often,
like, all right, I'm gonna
that would set warning bells off in my head more often, so I can't.
and then I'm like,
It would
no,
make me react unconsciously.
I mean, I will look for part of that, but I'm gonna start with something else.
The wrap you hit me with was nice because I came into your power zone and I came up to block it. Rose so much taller than other people do. I should have.
Been offside.
Was it offside? It felt like a half wrap, but it was just the front.
And I brought my hand up and I went to throw this, and when you came up high, I just reached over.
Yeah. I should have. But I wasn't underestimating your height.
Right. You also evidently were unsure what shot I was throwing. So
Yeah, well, I know the angle you were at. Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, you did throw your shield in my face, so I couldn't exactly see the shot.
I am getting the impression.
Hazel,
That,
hold on.
Okay.
You're good.
he's trying to create a situation of athletic player instead of athletic.
He's trying to monitor the situation.
Yours.
I realized she's sort of getting ready.
You kind of surprised me there when you started sprinting at me like, what's going on? Oh, it's her off. Took me a second.
When you say no, you hit me harder, so there's a fine line to walk there.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with all those crazy angles you were throwing on the rusts and stuff, I felt like you got a lot more in than I did. And I felt like they weren't in your early games. This.
Yeah, so I think that you doing creative stuff
Okay, it's just a dip.
is
I was just
slowing
making sure there wasn't a
down
hole
the
nearby.
notch, which is letting me keep up with everything you're doing. And that quarter notch is really like all your other things. The quarter notch is what's blowing me up right now. And you're doing broad. But that, I think that's a good way to be.
It's kind of what you have to do to learn, right?
Well, yeah, you can pick up something that becomes in your stock and trade. Also, you start picking up things. You see people are faster than you, and you're going to be like, all right, how do I beat this person? And right now, you're just like, I'll stand here and they'll die. But eventually, you're like, all right, you're going to step there and stab them in the shoulder.
I'll tell you, when I am working these classes, they seem easily a quarter, probably more like 50%. Like they seem slow. But when they just come off on their own,
It just sat there, kind of like the one I got on you, where it just kind of sat there, like, ah!
hard to deal with. Like,
I picked up the
very,
one on
like
the head,
the one I
right?
stabbed him in the face with, probably the 21 discussion.
Yeah.
It felt automatic. It felt like I came there, I saw a shit moving from my bed without thinking about anything at all.
The one where I stepped
Put on your.
But yeah, you understand the difference with your intent is completely different.
like block this, so I was going to stab.
It's almost like you already know.
Except when I got here,
It hits it that you feel like you already lost, but
and I had to do something.
Well, no,
So I put
because
this foot here, And then I was like, and
You
then
only
I said
have
that I
2
went
things
over
to do.
to her find it was awful.
There's one down the kid. The
You know how you're
Your
not
two
when
neighbors,
I see this much of your face and I miss it, like by I miss your head by that much.
Some of that is you are so messed up that I feel sick enough.
didn't tell you that at all. Really.
You were falling over.
Yes.
Alright, form.
What's up?
Go find a form.
Okay.
Alright. So Skio.
Is that your pole arm, Tom?
Alright.
Probably,
So
yeah.
when I fight pole arm,
Yeah.
and I don't know what I'm doing,
It's probably
I try to be more athletic than the person I'm fighting.
Okay.
That should never be a problem for you because you are a pole arm fighter, right?
Different.
Not quite as tall as Conrad, which tells me.
Watching from the outside,
But I mean, in
really,
melee,
you fighting Wu,
in melee,
I feel
it's
like
a-
you're
right?
trying
Yeah.
to fight not about technical issues, you're trying to lure her into an athletic contest. Like you are walking out, and instead of meeting her online and trying to be fundamentally sound, I see you float your pole arm off to the side, and it's almost screaming, hit me, hit me, hit me, and you're floating at the edge of range because you know you're fast.
Easy fix,
And
though.
she's going to do something, and now you can come and be fast and kill her. Instead of, I'm going to be fundamentally sound, center line, I'm going to fight her for that middle and beat her through technical proficiency. And
I agree
that
with
sort of
everything
helped.
that he said.
You're mongoosing.
You're mongoosing.
And
Which you can totally do. You know you can do it. Yeah. It's a practice.
it's hard
What
to
the other
get
stuff?
away from, but part of being like, so you try to win 100%, but you're trying to win by technique and put your athleticism in your back pocket and use it when you need it. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now
It'll save you in tougher fights more often.
Yeah, because there's always someone faster.
Well,
Or they know how to
situation.
manipulate you. Yeah.
well, also just be, falling into a trap where you become accustomed to fighting in non-technically sound ways because you're getting away with it leaves you to occasionally getting killed when you never should have gotten killed. That's one of the things, like he, aside from the fact that all the things Tom does are really well thought out, he's also never like grossly out of position. He's always right where he wants to be. He doesn't let himself get all fucked up. Like unless he's taking a Hail Mary because he thinks he's gonna die. Like I'm all over him and he tries that body thrust occasionally, but that's intentional and it's very intentional. But usually he's like, you watch him fight, and he's like, it don't look like he's trying. And when you don't look like you're trying, that's what you're looking for. And then be fast. And it'll be fucking terrible. Like you'll move half an inch, block somebody, and then stab them 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, because you're faster than I am.
Yeah.
You're more athletic, you're stronger, younger, you're in way better shape.
Yeah, he was doing
So
techniques to you, but his
you could do what I could
not
do
like
with
jam
your
was to do
skills.
them fast and hard,
You'd be
not
untouchable.
well. Which, to be fair,
The legend of the
I do the
mongoose.
same thing.
I gotta get it to
because
spread.
I'm not good at
I
it.
mean, it really is kind of a thing. I mean, you can
Well, it goes
certainly
back
combine
to-
the two things. You can use them
I may
separately.
be better
You know,
at the
it's
style, but you're a better
you can
fighter.
do a lot of things
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mess with people. If you present, like occasionally, very occasionally, I try to actually use athleticism, and it just throws people off enough sometimes that it works. Like when you're just stupid aggressive at weird ranges, that they don't expect that out of me.
But that's part of mixing the pot.
Right, and
Like
then
me and him were just doing. We're
Yep.
doing shit that we don't normally do. Because how do you get better if you don't fish in other waters?
yeah, and you get people thinking too much, and thinking is slowness. The more you think, the
I gotta
slower you
tell
are.
you, that gray mustache thing is just killing you, man.
Yeah, you look like Grandpa Lars.
It's very distinguished.
Is it all gray now?
Pretty
Yeah,
damn
well,
close.
like just the whole part under your
Wait,
nose. It's
wait.
like you blew your nose really hard and
Here's-
blew all the
here's the
color
answer.
off it.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He looks like
definitely-
Wilford Brimley without the glasses.
Lars
definitely
Brimley.
like that.
Diabetes.
I'm alright with that.
Lars Brimley.
I'm fighting pole arms, I got
The
diabetes.
rest of it, you don't have that much gray, but it's just this one like Hitler stash
Yeah.
of gray.
Yeah, yeah, but with the way your coif is working out, it's definitely getting the Wilford Brimley vibe.
A lot of people have told me it's my Coke stash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair.
That could be too.
I'm not trying to go with that, but yeah.
Oh, by
I'm
the
not
way,
gonna
if you
go
haven't
with
seen
anything.
it, Cocaine Bear on Flex.
That is so funny.
It was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I plan on watching it, but Sylvia rolls her eyes every time I even mention
What?
it.
Oh, I'm just hoping it is.
It's awful. It's just also fun. It's funny. But it's so incredibly dumb.
Skio's already overthinking this.
Hold on a second.
Alright. I was about to throw my pole arm at him, but then he put his fingers in his eyes.
Don't put out
You're gonna
Skio's
stab me
eyes.
like that?
I was going to cheap shot him.
I mean, Wu does it, why not?
I did. Totally threw my pole over Conrad. Kiss already. Oh, that was beautiful.
Think of that. Was that on?
I don't know. What did they look like to you?
You got, it
Both of you kind of paused like it looked like you got hit, but it's hard to tell from this side angle.
Yeah, because both of it is on the outside. I don't think either one of them are good.
Nobody's head snapped back.
Yeah, Lars's head.
You guys just both stopped like you thought you hit each other.
I felt the touch with the very barest, and I don't know where. So,
Yeah.
So the weird thing when you get to those is that it's supposed to be a directed touch in. So if it's sliding across, it really depends if it caught the tip and then slid or if it was sliding the whole way.
it was probably good then.
Yeah, those are the times you get into tricky.
Skio looked like it more like it was here, but it slid right up his cheek.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Slides are hard.
Yeah, they are.
That was me just being slow.
What's the setup to follow whether I would have moved down there?
Oh, so you knew.
So
you knew I
when I
couldn't
fought
really get
pole arm a bunch,
I
that
would've
kind
like
of
this.
situation happened to me a
Once
lot,
it
where
was
like
here,
I would
I had
get
a
somebody to the
split
side,
second of panic, but you
and
didn't do
so
anything
I
to
worked
capitalize on
really
it.
hard
So I knew,
on
at that
like,
point I knew I was safe.
seeing that moment and diving after it.
But I think if you
and I
would've done it
got a lot of kills
ahead
off
of
it,
time,
but I don't see
like
other
doing
pole
it,
armors
seeing what
do
happened,
that.
and then
They don't have the
reacting is
confidence to
slow.
dive.
You know what I'm saying?
The difference is even though you don't know the weapon particularly well, you know the logic behind why you should go after the person.
If somebody's
Nobody
the
saw it.
second they have one hand on the weapon,
Yeah,
just
if you saw
fuck
me.
everything.
Right, but most people aren't confident. Like his footwork was wrong, so he couldn't follow up. He threw it off, sure, but he couldn't chase it because he had to shuffle. The other difference is that he's nose over toes, basically. His weight's super forward, so he can't dive backwards without like an aggressive back movement. Lars is centered.
Face was good.
Lars is centered and slightly squatted. He's tall,
a little
and
bit,
his
but
nose
not-
is way too
Not
forward.
excessive, but a little
So
bit
he's
hard
nose
to-
over. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
forward.
nose over toes.
All right.
Instead of being more centered, he's aggressively leaning forward.
Because I put my head over my front foot, but all that weight is on the front half of that foot, so I can push back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Versus,
That's better. It's not
Yeah, no, he doesn't. His weight, his head forward, but it almost looks like he has his weight on his back foot.
he's pushing on the inside of the foot, but if he's smart, he has a weight on the inside of both. Like, it'd be like this where it's on the inside versus this which is outside.
Right.
Or, you know, if you're in that front stance, if your weight's all here, you're rooted, but you can push back, but you can't come forward, right? Because your weight's too forward, so you have to push to your back foot to get forward. Because there's nothing there.
So my way to do that would be to, all my weight is on the front of his foot, Tom. All pushing forward. I pick it up, and if my foot wants to shoot forward.
Sure. And your weight will lean you forward, but you still have to overcome your weight to just do this. Whereas if you're more balanced, you can push either direction. I don't know that it would necessarily be a lot faster. It's probably more of a agility thing than it's a speed thing.
Your hands are tired?
You know, the ability to move in many ways instead of being predetermined on going forward.
Whatever you're doing is probably better, because when I fence a lot, I do really well, and then my knees start to get sore, and I bet it's because that's not healthy.
Probably not. There's a reason martial artists are and they're generally pretty well balanced most of the time.
I thought
Hazel.
it was something I did.
Come on. Right down the middle. Good job, dog. Okay.
I missed
don't
it.
care.
I didn't have anything.
No,
to
she's not gonna hit her.
Gotcha. Gotcha. You weren't able to bottom out on my hip or
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Skio is really in love with those range shots. Bait them into one and then do a hard carry and know you're going.
Okay. I was thinking the same thing, like, should I say it or shouldn't I say it? Because Lars has a plan, he's executing it. I just wasn't sure Skio is 100% aware of what he's doing, or what he's presenting.
Well, he'll see it on film.
Yeah.
I kind of like that low shot because it's almost pre-lunch. Lars isn't really able to.
It's a turn. Actually, what I should have did.
The problem with throwing those down there is if the other person knows you're going to do it and you can't do the possibility, yeah. Because if they're waiting to throw a shot too and you have roughly equal everything else, you throw that low shot, you can't block high, and then you just get stabbed in the belly. But it does depend if you're on your heels.
No, it slid.
The
wrong angle.
hand grips didn't adjust there.
I went straight down instead of.
Lars was in a good spot, but his hands were
totally
out here
got it.
instead of here.
Yeah,
Follow
okay, that was the
through.
wrong angle. Huh?
Well, you followed through. You flicked it at him. If you had followed through, even though you glanced, you would have killed him with something.
You think so?
Yeah, and that.
Yeah, turn your hip like Tom said.
Oh yeah, turn the hip would be the right idea.
I think part of this, those are real hard to do though, because part of me not blocking is me seeing you not turn your hip, right? Like.
Yeah, but then it's a glance and you walk through it.
Yeah.
There's still a flick thing to it. You're doing this instead of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the part that was bad on his part is his hands were too wide to throw a good return shot. So he had them out like this. So it became this, which is awkward, versus this, which is fast and easy.
Yep.
So he couldn't throw the angle he needed to get you before you got away. On your side, you threw so straight that it just basically like boop and fell off of it.
Yeah.
Like it felt like nothing. It made noise, but it didn't look like it moved him. Yeah, whereas if you just twisted a bit or even rolled your wrist around a touch, you would have pulled it into his head more, would have caught. Yeah. It's soaking up too many shots though. Yeah. It looked like it did, but
It felt like it got there, but it wasn't for sure.
That was perfect.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm working on something.
That was good.
Well done.
yeah. Hand grip's getting better, but it was still fine. Yeah. His bread and butter is that shot. That shot, he targets from like below the boobs, basically to above the hips. So that's like 90% of his thrust. So you just shut that down to the center. There's always a slap. Like that's where Wu is getting a lot of her slaps. Her natural height makes her natural block right in his sweet spot. So get a lot of the blocks. But
my cage is so short.
Yep.
I don't know where to do.
You touched it, but I didn't feel like you
Went too low too quick.
Do you disagree?
But that he parried it and then he came in under control, but he still had the initiative there.
Yeah. Lars, reaching. Hey Lars, don't rely so much on the long range reach. Like take control of the fight and take him. Like occasionally you're coming in, but you're never getting closer than about mid range. But a lot of your long range stuff is kind of more like pawing. It'd be like if you were pawing at someone with a sword at long range.
Right.
It's not deadly enough. Like you're getting some kills, but it's not deadly enough to really make him change. He's just gonna fight through it. And his main strength is long range.
Well, that's why I'm doing it. I mean,
Oh, you're intentionally fighting him there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to work on the thrust. Okay.
All right, that's cool. That's fine.
Face feels very open to me.
It is.
I know I just have to do very little to actually get it.
But the problem there, Skio, is like 90% of what you throw is from here to here. Like your natural inclination to throw in this box.
Yep.
So you have to actually almost intentionally move other ways to get to a face, which takes away some of the surprise. So if you threw more at the face as a regular thing and you adjusted your guard so it wasn't so clear you're going for that box, it would make it harder for him and it would make it easier for you.
Okay.
You're making it harder on yourself by your stance. Even though you have plenty of skill to be able to throw that shot, you're still making it harder than you need to.
Okay.
Bad.
Oh.
Bad. That's a great way to break your hand.
Two bad things there. I just
I
totally
know.
went there and dropped it, and you tried to block with your hand.
The exciting day for the little guy. They went to the pet store to get some fish.
Uh-huh.
We've had a fish tank for a week and we've been getting it all prepped up and
Cool. What'd you
so-
get him? What took fish?
we don't know yet. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
They went, well, like when I left here, they went to the fish store. So
That's cool. Sylvia is a huge fish fanatic, so if you need help or something goes somewhat sideways, she might be able to tell you what's going on.
yeah,
We used to have giant fish tanks, and we just haven't since we moved out here.
he's been excited about the fish tank, like in general. He'll like run in and he'll like,
Yeah.
Yep.
he'll like, oh, fish.
Setting was
There
a
are no
terrible
fish.
idea. I should
We
have
just
been
looked
more.
at the tank.
What's that?
Yep.
Oh, I should have
Yeah,
moved
that's
more,
okay.
but no, you
I
were
mean,
following
that's what
that.
they're there for mostly. There's a little bit of effort. You get like a placostomus that'll help with the algae setup, and they're kind of cool to watch anyway. But
That's what I have been trying to get.
Okay.
your weight forward heavily, you're gonna see that on the tape. But like Lars is this, you're this.
Okay.
So your weight's here, your nose over toes. So you have to do something to push yourself away. So, but this isn't moving, right? So if he's not throwing at your face, this is not going very far before he gets to the point where you can get away. So it gives him more time to throw at your body. You can move your face around from here and do stuff, which you're used to people trying to do. But like what he was doing there was right into your body. So you got one step back, boom, and then he caught you and kicked you. Because you can't move as fast from where you're standing.
Okay.
He's centered. He can go left, right, forward, backward, whatever, but none of it's going to be super bursty because he's not putting a lot of effort into one direction necessarily. But he's so good that with that he can move anywhere he wants and you can't read it easily anyway.
Okay.
So I like what you're doing better than what he's doing. That's what I'm saying.
I like what I'm doing better too, even though I'm getting my ass kicked.
He's a better thruster than you are.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I also need to learn how to block thrusts better.
Yeah. Where's your point of block? Here, hold on. What are you thinking of what you want to do when you're trying to block? Like, so, go on your guard real quick, Skio. You can stay there.
So, alright. So
So-
here's what I think.
So are you doing this? What are you doing? Up there?
No, lower.
You're like
Lower
down
in
here.
the center.
Like that.
Yeah, so that I can pick either swing or shoot down.
When
Right,
he's
so
in a
that's the
thrust
problem.
fight,
Because you can go either way.
he will
You
block
want to go one
forward,
way,
jump
right?
back,
Because it minimizes your
and
front
then
thrust.
that's
If I'm
like,
here,
and then
and he throws
that's-
anything forward, right?
That's the deal.
This.
I
Like
hook,
Hans.
yeah, I hook
Right?
you
And then you can
and you
pull
jump
back
back.
to it.
And
If
then
he
you
tries
hook
to
me
go
and I
under
jump
it.
back, or I hook you and you block and you parry and shoot it
And then
me
you
and
come
then I
right
jump
through,
back.
right? And you can control it the
but
whole way.
that's
This
kind of it.
because
And
this
so
is
what
dark,
Lars is doing to him
here, and then
is
you go
Lars is poking,
Right.
Skio jumps
right?
back,
And you have
and
multiple
Lars
targets. The
does
elbow
a
comes
double
up,
hop
head's
forward
open.
and
If you
hooks
fake
it
this
in
way,
again,
come
and
back.
at that
There's a lot of
point,
choices there,
Skio's just
which
making
makes
shit
all
up
that
and
harder for
getting
him.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
when you're, if you're center line
Because that
here,
last stab that Lars
right?
caught
This,
him right here,
if he goes left or
that
right,
shouldn't
I have
work
to
because
judge
of the way that
which way I
Lars
want
did
to
it.
go,
He did
right?
hand forward, it wasn't
Versus
that way.
one off.
Sure, but
See, I'm going
Skio
off
was
the point of your shoulder
Off
and
the
across
feet
the body.
position, yeah.
This also
but
covers
they were
your
kind
face
of
a
close
bit.
together.
This doesn't make
and
your
he's
face
kind of
an
just
easy
standing
target.
there like
What I
that.
like to do is
Yeah.
that. Now, if you do it and you're way over
Lars is a lot
here,
better
like
at
way at range, this is a
getting
little
somebody
trickier,
else
but it's farther,
even
so
if
you have more
he's not
time.
good at the style.
So
Right?
I talked to Tom
Versus
about
if
it,
I'm
and he
straight
said
and he
one-
throws it my face,
typical
you know, from out
thing
here,
with
I have to
polearmors
catch that and
is
it's a
they're
lot
not
closer.
I
That's
wonder
what I
if
get.
that's what makes me
diligently
want to hit you in the
pursuing
face.
each other.
That's what
Lars,
one of the ones he
not
caught me on. I blocked, but I
Block late.
blocked late.
Run.
Yeah, I
It's
did
because
that,
you're
but I was
running
too slow
after
because I was
Yep, use the English
so much that it's hard to
So,
get in the
so I'd go
mindset
more
of,
across, probably,
like, hey,
slightly up,
thrust
depending on where
me
he's at.
and
Because you can
lost
slap it down
your
on one
hand
side
off
and
the
push it up
weapon.
on the other.
And now
You can
Dennis
step
is
through it and
running
it goes
like
wide.
a madman because
there's a lot of options on where you can go with that. It doesn't really
happen every
screw
time.
you.
Every
That's
time
the other thing. Like, there's not really anything here you can't. Because if I want to push on his, like, I want to throw it in his face, right?
Well, I mean, I killed
So do
Skio
this, and then
a minute ago that way. 'Cause he got
if
too
he
far,
overblocks,
and
you
if I
just
had
sneak
stopped
underneath and
thinking
you get it.
about I'd
If he
killed
doesn't
him.
block enough, you come this stuff.
And he just
I don't
was like,
have
what are
those
you doing? Oh, and I'm dead. So.
Well, you said you're working on
But yeah,
those.
it's a,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
good
no,
point.
no, so I agree.
So I'm
That's
showing
why
you what they are.
No, you're correct. I'm just.
Yeah, I get
when
you don't
say,
have that.
When you say, basically, you're just saying do a disengage and thrust, I can't.
Okay, well,
I
let
need
me
to practice.
rephrase it. That's what you could do to do that. That's not what you should do right now.
And that's what I charge you.
Right. Yeah, you don't have that skill currently. The goal was to show you what you could do. Not to say do this, you don't. So.
No, I mean, I should though. Like, I should be working on relevant skills. Right now, I'm neutral because I'm relying on my positioning to outrun away fast. And that's a failing situation because I'm open the first time.
Yep.
Right? And 3 of those kills, I touched him, but he did stuff to get out of it that I'm not able
Well,
to
when
do.
we first walked out, he's like,
And I'm just
so
walking into
you
his
know,
thoughts, right? So.
Yes.
You look much more
Yep.
intent.
The
with
things
this
you
fight
have to
than
read
you
on
do
his
fighting
part,
sword.
you can see that his back leg is angled and his weight's on his toe. And his face is way up bottom. So he can move his head around. Nothing is stopping his head from moving around. And that's why that target can be tricky. But if you do something to distract him out of his thought of his defense, like if you sit like this and you do come like that, see how he tightens up?
If he's got
That takes away some of his ability. Because his stance changed slightly, and his weight kind of went that way a bit.
That's what I usually use.
I'll tell you
that,
with him.
And I was trying not to do it too much because I'm trying not to close. I'm trying to be more subtle, but I should do it.
But things like sometimes you do is the thrust, sometimes you do is the close, and then he never knows you're coming or not.
You just hold them.
The other thing you can do, like he throws his legs a bit.
And I'll
The
tell
problem
you,
I
if
have
I
with legs
see
is if you're up
somebody
here like
doing that
this,
to you
you're
and I
playing like
run
this,
in,
and he
I'm
goes
just
for a leg.
Great training.
That's what happened
Yeah,
on the last.
yeah,
Well,
they're
kind
gonna
of
go
what
for a
happened on the last
ride.
one. On the last one, I
that's what I
cheated
was
my
trying
hand
to get,
forward.
like,
So when he did the leg, I just pushed here and then thrusted him.
And there is a little bit of hesitation. Like there's a hitch in my giddy up on that too, because I'm debating whether I want to block it or if I want to try to kill him.
Right.
Like if I'm not sure I can get the kill, I'll go for the block first because position over submission, right?
I just told Drew,
So if in that case it's like okay, he's off and I know I'm not in armor with the instinct. So do I block or don't I? But but you know, I know I'm in range.
Yeah, and that's a
before we
little
start,
bit of knowing your pieces.
And even if he was
to know that you,
here,
counting
like I
on
can't
that
hit him
kind of
easily from
aggression
here.
from
If
them
he
is
comes forward to throw any
dubious.
shot at all, right?
At
It's
that
just
point,
this,
you're
and then I
trying
can
to
come
weigh the
here,
scales of how
and
much.
then it's just a matter of what do I do
can
next.
bring out here?
Like if he goes for a
Conrad
thrust, I
wants
can
to
push
run
that
away.
across and step
Like
through.
if you send
and then
Marguerite out there,
bang.
I should run
Or
away.
if you just let
yeah,
it sit
she
there,
can't. She's
it's
so
just this.
tiny. She can't.
Not this.
Right. I mean, to be
This.
honest, then you're looking at
Because this sticks.
traits.
This
Yeah.
goes
Like,
through his arm.
okay, you take 2 brand new fighters.
And that's true on a lot of these, right? Like sometimes when you're throwing them out here like this,
Fine.
there's this one,
But
right?
you
You don't throw it straight because
Marguerite
then it gets knocked away.
and,
Yep. And the same one if you go underneath
Who
over
else
here.
would
Like
have
this
a
one's a
tough-
lower
and
percentage. You
even,
play around here a
Cameron.
bit. You push him
He's
around a
real
bit.
short,
You get him
Yep,
here.
he's
And
short.
then you do this.
He's not skinny. He's not a.
And part of the
he's not
reason
a
to go
runner.
here is because this
They're gonna have
is
trouble
reasonably
running
safe.
after him.
And I've got a big profile here, but my next
Now they
step
are
is
lefties,
this.
which is
Right.
a little concerning.
So if he
for me.
throws
I
down
gotta pay a
quick and
little
I
more
miss, I can
attention to
slap
a
it.
lefty.
And I can also try to recover out of it if he doesn't throw a shot.
So,
But I'm moving away. Even though I'm
on the other hand, when I get
But these give you
newish lefties running at me,
So,
I can generally
the thing is
leg
here,
them and leave
go
them
up
in
on
a
your
pile
thing,
very quickly.
I just want to show you. If I throw like this and you push, it doesn't do much, right? Yep. That's subtle, but a huge difference. That's one thing you can try to do.
I was kind of surprised. I thought I would.
Yes, I mean, he's fighting lefty though.
Yeah, but it works both ways. Doesn't matter left or right on that one.
You know, only dive on Conrad. He's fast. I'm not going to run away from him.
Yeah.
I have to fight him for real. He could leg me when I kill him. I didn't bring my long sword, so the fight, I can't guarantee it's going to be a perfect fight. And if he's trying to stay alive, it gets to be real in there. I don't want to chase him. That gets dubious still. Then I end up like when he runs away.
I think that was a good show.
Terrible.
Are you sure?
Well,
I don't know. I would say yes. If it was on the lighter end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to. Let's just go fight. Yeah.
especially Liza, like she's gonna, she just genuinely enjoys fighting.
I was thrilled to death after fighting her last week because I showed her a whole bunch of stuff like a month or so ago, and she did it,
and then she did more new stuff, and then she went away for a while, and I was thinking, I fought her, and I'm thinking she's gonna not be doing any of that stuff. And she did.
What was the angle on that back shot?
For him? Or you?
For him.
He panicked.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I
Because
barely
it
had my
landed with
hand
some
on there.
force, but it
I was
didn't
having
feel like
problems
it went
getting my
like
weapon.
a blade on into my body. It felt glancy.
It had no intention.
Yeah, it was just a
He
panic.
knew he was
It was-
gonna die.
Okay.
Yeah,
It was
throw
definitely-
something.
I just want to make sure I'm not blowing it off.
You're
No,
not
no,
blowing
Oh,
anything,
no,
Lars.
it didn't look
Hard
great.
enough, but it didn't seem like the right angle.
It wasn't, because you got him running backwards where he's kind of jumbled.
Yeah.
And when you got into that last thruster, he just kind of slapped something. But, you know, a shot's better than no shot. You miss 100% of the things you don't throw.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was having problems getting my hands back on my weapon.
And she'd come up
So I
with a
finally
couple
did, so I just
moves all
threw what I
on her
had.
Yeah, that's right.
She was trying this new. She wanted to take her the butt of her sword and grab the edge of my shield and pull me open and then hit me. And
That's what I learned when I was fighting soldiers.
yeah, so
Don't do that.
it's terrible. And I could.
In a kingdom where lots of most people fight with a like
Yeah.
radios, it works pretty well. Here where most people have to decide throughout people.
So also it probably works better when you're
Yeah.